Happy Monday, traders. What's going on? Coin, Kim, Elijah in the house. Good to see you guys in here this morning. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend as well. We got a lot to look at this morning. A lot going over. So, for those of you new in here this morning, we got our gap up watch list, top left, gap down watch list, bear scan watch list, overbought stocks. These are the intensity scanners. Intensity scanners. Nathan, who won the chat last Friday night. Congratulations. Now, get in there, Nathan. We're excited to have you this morning. Brad, what's going on, man? Hope you had a great weekend as well. Our market summary this morning. Market's a little bit down this morning, looking to a little decline after the Dow added 2.3% last week. So third straight weekly gain for the overall market as there's positive coronavirus vaccine trials coming out with some different companies. But overall market's a little down this morning. It's looking to be a good week this week, traders, and we're looking to start it off on a green note as always. As always. All right, so let's start diving into today. I just want to go ahead and start off by getting into what Elijah brought up, which was BOXL. Now, you guys know this one was a stock we traded last week. BOXL, not bad. It's provided good ops, as you can see by the chart on both sides of the coin. You hear that, coin? Both sides. Both sides of you. So, both sides of the coin fox. And so we've been trading this pretty good. We've had spikes to fail, and then cracks the trend. Spike back up to the trend, fail, get back above the trend. So this is good ops on both sides. What I'm seeing this morning is a little bit of a descending triangle pattern from the last few days. And I see what you're saying here, Elijah, with this 320-ish support. Makes a lot of sense here. Try to zoom in a little on BOXL. So what we're seeing, I see what you're talking about here on the chart. We've seen a lot of support once, twice, three times, four. It's coming down to it right now. It's sitting kind of heavy, though. It's sitting kind of heavy. I don't like comfortable trades when something's just kind of slowly going sideways. What I would like to see on BOXL this morning, if it opens on up, is a little bit of a sell-off down to this 275 area. Panic, buying fear, and selling euphoria. So I'd like to see a little bit more selling pressure on it. Now, I don't think, we as traders are hunters of volatility. We are managers of risk, and we find these opportunities to trade. When the market's going up and down, there's opportunity. When it's going sideways, no opportunity. So with that being said, I don't know exactly where BOXL is going to end up in today, but I like to look for these fast moves. 275 down to support. Wouldn't mind that. We'll see what it's going to do at the open. That's kind of what I'm looking at. We're obviously going to have 425 as very tough resistance on it if it does end up climbing back up and coming towards these areas. 420-ish. So let's just keep that in mind as far as BOXL goes. I will have that loaded up on a chart, though, for that fear. Human behavior never changes, traders. Absolutely never changes. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got a lot to go over this morning. We took HMHC last week as well. HMHC last week ended up being a nice little trade out of the gates. Here's the trend that HMHC was on. Ended up cracking that, and then the trend ended up serving as resistance, which it did continue to fade. HMHC, I really like the daily here. This is what I was looking at. You remember we got this spike in pre-market. I was short in this around 320s, which is exactly what I had gone over on Friday. Ended up working it to be a nice little short there. HMHC, here's the daily chart, and this is why I like this chart a lot. It had very clear resistance on it, which is now holding on up. Where's it at right now this morning? HMHC. Well, HMHC is actually cracking below it. 268 right now. 268. All right, so we got clear resistance. You guys see a couple days here, one day there, a couple days here as well around the 280s. And then that looked like here it was holding up. It closed Friday right at 280. So it looked like it was going to hold on up, but this morning doesn't look so good. So maybe looking for a little short up to that 280s again. That's going to serve as resistance, kind of up towards that previous close. otherwise known as the PCL, on Friday. So I will be watching that. It's a little lighter in volume, which I don't mind. So up towards 280. We'll be watching HMHC for that. All right, let's continue down the list. HTBX. HTBX, this has been, for those of you, and guys, if you're part of the Avery Day Trading Squad, you know we go over long, shorts, low floats, high floats, middle floats, up and down, left and right. We go over it all. We go over it all. So HTBX, this one this morning, this is a coronavirus play. As you guys have been well aware, that has been a sector that has been running irrationally, essentially. We have other stocks in the coronavirus sector, such as ALT, VXRT, IBIO. And what have those stocks been doing? They've been running absolutely bananas. Here's ALT, IBIO. Look at these stocks, guys. Absolutely nuts. VXRT. All doing somewhat of the same thing, right? All right, well, this morning we got HTBX. HTBX this morning this is a coronavirus play as well. We do have a clear trend on it. So what I'm looking at this morning is very similar to BOXL in the fact that I'd like to see kind of panic down to the trend line and then maybe scoop this on up, HTBX. HTBX since last Thursday, we've seen a spike out of the gates Thursday to a fade down to the trend. We saw a spike out of the gates on Friday to a fail and back down to the trend. So we could see HTBX a spike out of the gates today and then fade back down to the trend. Yeah, and Friday it did have a nice little spike on it like it did this morning and ended up breaking that at the open. Ended up breaking that at the open around that 240.50 area. So it's not, it wouldn't be an anomaly if this thing kind of broke up through 304. But looking at the past chart history, we always look left of the chart. Left of the chart gives us an idea of the stock's individual personality. That's what we look at. This one's a very fast move. Very abnormal amounts of volume, as we like, because what? When you have more than average volume, you have more than average range on the stock. And like I said, that's what we're looking for as traders, more than average range. Up and down means opportunity. All right, so looking at the past chart history on HTBX, kind of crazy back in here. This one's had a few reverse splits, so it's not exactly easy to look at this one and tell, but it's going to be a little resistance up towards around 320 is always that magic number. So let's say this one comes down to the trend line, we scoop it on up, climbs up towards 304, up towards 320. I'd probably be scaling out around, above $3. Fast moves up towards 320. Got to scale out around there. But that's what I'm looking at here. It could crack and fail. It could. We have to see good volume come into this. But what I'm wanting to see is some nice panic. It could get the spike out of the gates, but I'm not going to chase it. Not going to FOMO into it because that is kind of what it's done since Thursday and Friday. Thursday spike, back to trend. Friday spike, back to trend. So today we could see spike, back to trend. Not rocket science. All right, let's continue down the list. But whether I'm shorting and someone commented on one of my posts the other day and on Friday, some of my charts that I went over, and they said, I don't like shorting. And, I don't particularly like shorting either. It's just, I like making money. It's not about liking it. It's about doing what works, right? Not about liking it. It's buying fear, selling euphoria. That's all there is to it. It's the same thing as scooping up fear. You're just flipping your computer over, doing it on the other side. All right, let's continue on through these stocks, guys. A lot to look at this morning, so I gotta stop rambling. You guys keep me focused. I'm going through too many rabbit holes. SONO. We trade this one Friday thanks to Brad. Brad pointed this one on out. It was a really beautiful short out of the gates. Got this one Friday morning. This one's coming up to the trend line still. This one's got a nice little trend to it around 1615, 1620-ish. So I want to see how this one's going to open on up. Kind of looks like what? A bear flag in a way. Yeah, Brad, I got you. I'll throw a check in the mail for you. This one's kind of looking like what? Bear flag. Bear Flag Central. So maybe a pop up towards the 1645 area. And by Bear Flag, if you guys don't know what that is, look it up. I ain't got time to go over it. Kind of a bear flag. It's opposite of a bull flag. You got your pole, and then it deceives longs. It deceives longs because longs see this as kind of trending upward. Oh, this thing's going up, but it's really just trapping bulls. That's essentially what bear flags do. They trap bulls. So I like this one for the crack of the trend 1614. It's a little light in volume. I like that as well. So we'll see how heavy it's going to be right out of the gates this morning. But as you know, we were watching this one for a reason, and why is that? The 13 EMA. 13 EMA, highly respected. And when it got balled up off of it, in this trend line right here, it comes right back down to it. Balled up fast, back down. Balled up fast, back down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. All right, so we had our first red day yesterday, but we still have room to fall. 13 EMA trend lines back down to like 15, 20. So there's still going to be a play here on SONO. Still opportunity here. Wouldn't take it off the radar. Would not take it off the radar. And we could trade this little pop up towards 1640s, 50s. I like that because it's really easy risk management. Key visualization of it. Man, we got a lot to go over. I need my assistant to get me some water. All right. What's CPIX doing this morning? CPIX. That one's done. All right. We're not going over that. We can nix that. ABUS. ABUS isn't a bad one either. This one's a little lighter in volume, but I am going to have this loaded up on a chart. I'm going to go over it really quick for you guys. ABUS came up towards this resistance. You guys see this? 260 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. 260. Hit it. Upper shadow here, meaning what? Wall of sellers. Wall of sellers at resistance. 260. Seeing a little bit of a fade this morning. It's a little lighter in volume. Hit that 260. We're going to see this one, see how it's going to open on up. But I don't mind scaling into this one up towards that 260 area. You say, Kevin, how do you get all these charts loaded up in the morning? How are you finding all these? Intensity Stock Watch scanners, guys. Pull these up. I'm up here an hour before the market opens, flipping through charts. That's what I love to do. It's a hobby of mine, flipping through charts. All right, so that's ABUS. Let's continue through the list. Garage Day Trader. Trade Tesla today. Just do it. Just do it. GDT, Tesla is his bish. Been killing it. Yeah, that's the only stock I'd trade if I were you, GDT. You've been killing that. Absolutely killing it. Welcome, GDT. Feel free to donate $10, GDT. Kidding. Little inside joke. Sorry, guys. All right. ALNA, $3 is going to be resistance. $3 resistance. Looking at the past chart history, we always look what? Left of the chart. $3 is tough on ALNA. ALNA the last couple days has been seeing a little bit of activity. It's been getting fast, been popping on off. ALNA, here's the chart this morning. It's going to be opening up right at kind of supportish. ALNA, right up kind of at these upper shadows from Friday. 12 o'clock, this one had an upper shower right at around 220. It's 225. 225 is going to be a really key area on it. I'd like to short into a pop on this one, but it is a little lighter in volume. We may see profit taking right out of the gates. I want you guys to be aware of this. There is a trend on it as well. I can kind of draw that out here. Somewhat cracking it already. Here's the trend. Hit 235. So I will be watching this one out of the gates as well. ALNA, a little bit lighter in volume. Just keep that in mind. And some of these are thin. Some of these names are thin, but it doesn't mean there's not opportunities on them. For instance, last Friday, we went over RVP, which I said, if you're trading this one, just understand your risk. And guess what? This did exactly what most of them do. We go over the setup every single day. Here's RVP. We were watching on Friday. Had a nice climb to it on Thursday. We were kind of risking over 1050 over under popped up, and then look at this one, 1050 all the way down to $9. Huge opportunity. But this one was thinly traded, so very similar to some of these other ones we're watching this morning. A little bit thin doesn't mean there's not opportunity. You just have to be a little bit more disciplined with managing risk. All right, DPW is our leading gapper this morning. 5 million shares on the float already. You guys know that's kind of an avoid for me. I don't like trading the lower floaters. A little bit harder to manage risk. Unpopular opinion. That's just me. I see a lot more consistency not trading them. But their shares doubled on new electric vehicle charger line. So they made a very large move recently as well. Let's take a look at the last 180 days. Right in June, this stock made a move from about $1.50 up to $6.55. And you guys know when a stock, we've gone over this a lot, and I'm pretty sure 100% of the time when we've looked at a ticker and left of the chart and a stock made a massive move like this and it's making another move again, it's much harder to sustain that move. And most of the time, it fails. DPW, I would not be long because of that. This stock made a huge move recently. We're going to have a lot of baggies in this. I like to call them baggies. A lot of bag holders that are looking to get out of their position, and a lot of longs going to get trapped in this again, taking their shares of people dumping them from last time. So I would not be long on DPW, but keep that in mind. If you're trading it on the long side, just be careful. Just understand that shorts take the elevator down, longs take the stairs up. So it's going to be a long ride up. All right. GDT, what are your thoughts on CB? All right, there's a couple more guys I want to take a look at this morning. We have been watching ALDX for the last weekish. ALDX, I still like this chart a lot. I really do. This is the past chart history on ALDX, way off of the trend line. We did see upper shadow on Friday, so this one did see some selling pressure. I'd like to see what this one's going to do at the open this morning. Here's kind of the chart on ALDX coming up towards that $7 area. So I want to see how this is going to open on up. Again, this is a thin name. This is a thin name, very thin ticker. If the spread's more than like 5, 6, 7 cents, I'm probably avoiding it. But if we start seeing a little bit of euphoria at the start of the day, I'll look to trade it. And then BE. BE is another one we've been watching as well. Let's pull this one up. Yeah, BE's provided us with some solid ops. Really on both sides. Yeah, $20 is kind of tough on that one right now. So what I'm seeing here on BE is just the last few days since Wednesday. We've seen a spike. Thursday, spike, sell off. Wednesday, kind of a little spike out of the day to sell off. So we're kind of in a channel at the moment. But I'd like to see this one heavy as well. Maybe another spike to fail. The last 2 times, Thursday and Friday. It's had a little bit of a spike and then failed. So that's what I'm looking at on BE this morning. It's pretty overextended still. Way off the 13 EMA. When it gets overextended off of it, sells back to it. I like this hammer. I like this hammer on the daily. Look at this upper shadow. Lots of sellers coming into this. All right, we got so many to watch, guys. So many to watch. There's honestly a few more, but yeah, I gotta go over this one too. SALM, I do have shorts here with CMEG. SALM, I really like this one. It's coming up towards resistance 220-ish. Guys, we've gone over the magic number how many times? The 20-cent area is a magic number. It just is. Fast moves up to the whole dollar, break them, hit the 20, and then they retrace. Hard to sustain that move. It's a magic number. So SALM, certainly going to be watching this one out of the gates. This one just taking a look at this past chart history. 250 is very tough on SALM. All up back here. and here to 250, and it just made this move recently on SALM2, so I like that. I like it when mini stars align themselves up. You know, when you get a pocket pair of aces, and then you see the flop, and you get another ace. You know, the stars just keep lining themselves up. It becomes a better and better hand. Throw a little bit more chips on the table. You know what I'm saying? So 250. It's gonna be tough. It just happened recently. Going to be more difficult to sustain that move. This is what I'm going to be watching. Kind of closed around $2. Had a little spike out of the gate, so we'll see if this one's going to open up a little heavy or start moving up towards that 250. Certainly we'll be scaling in towards that 250 if we start getting that right out of the gate. You guys need me to write these down? There's a lot. There's good ops this morning, though. There really are. There's a lot of good ops. And there's a few more, but I'm just going to go over kind of I'm just going to end right there because those are more of the better plays to look at this morning. All right, so our leading gapper this morning, DPW, still sustaining right now. That one's still holding. It's kind of where most activity is going to be on the long side as far as the Robin Hooders go this morning. CPI, because that one failed. All right. Yeah, I'm going to write some of these out, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. I'm going to get these written out real quick before it's already 9:23. So let me know if you have any questions at all. Nathan, who are you? Who's your broker? Yeah. TD's tough, bro. With shorting, TD is tough. I love TD for their charting, but I use CMEG for my trading. Yeah, most everything I went over this morning was shortable. Yeah, let me write these shorts out for you real quick. Sona, I'd like to see crack. Yes. Nathan, are you in chat? Yeah, load up your. Let me see. Yeah, go over here, Nathan. Click on chat if you got Intensity Stockwatch pulled up. Go to ISW Live Chat and ISW Lounge. Pull both of those up. Because the fellas are in there right now. Yeah, there's probably more there too. There's a lot to go over. I need to load these charts up. Elijah, you're like an IBIO above $5. IBIO this morning, yeah, I see that good volume coming into it. It's over 5 right now. Is that another, is that a Corona play? Yep, another Corona play. It looks eerily similar to. Oh yeah, we just went over that. IBIO, ALT, VXRT. Yeah, they all look the same. They really do. All right, traders, I'm going to load these charts up. Got a couple minutes till the market opens on up. Let's kill it today. A lot to look at this morning. A little overwhelming, but hope you guys are well prepared, and we will. And let's get it. All right, traders, a couple minutes. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning.